Thanks, shitheads.
We're back!
Yay! We fucking did it. Another weekend. Another Thursday.
Another Thursday morning. We're here today with Mr. Fred Leblanc.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the day before Thanksgiving. It'll actually be out next Thursday, so everybody will have already had Thanksgiving at this point.
Yeah.
I hope my Thanksgiving was good. It looks like it's going to be good.
Yeah. I got a lot of work to do tomorroar.
Really? I
For
have
sure.
no work to do tomorrow. So
Me neither,
it's good, yeah.
actually.
Right?
Yeah. Where do you go to Thanksgiving?
This year we're doing my wife's family over in Old Jeff.
Oh, okay, cool.
Over in Old Jeff, and they like to cook up a giant, big old buffet of stuff. And
Fuck yeah.
It's my wife, her kids, her sister, my brother-in-law, her godparents. They're it's just
gang of people.
just family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all fun.
Nice.
It is beyond an honor to have you on here, man.
Oh, thank you.
I
Very
first
cool.
heard Cowboy Mouth in the early 90s. I first heard the How Can You Tell Someone That You Don't Love Them Anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Me and my friends, we were metal guys, and we could appreciate for sure, immediately what you guys were doing.
Well, thank you.
And then when we finally heard, Jenny said, or Jenny says.
Jenny says,
Yeah. That being such a big single that went nationwide, it was cool, knowing that it came from such a close place. So it's very awesome to have you on the show, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me.
I was telling a story of playing a couple cover bands, and I had to learn some shit. And I thought they said Jane Says, so I learned that shit. And then I get there, and it was Jenny Says. I don't know this fucking song. Oh no! yeah.
Wrong song,
Yeah,
buddy.
but they didn't sing that. I was like, oh shit.
Jenny Says has more than two chords. Unlike Jane
It does.
Says.
It 100% does. And they were a half step down, so it was all over the place.
Oh,
It's like,
God,
oh
sorry
no.
about that.
Oh
Sorry
no.
about that.
How did you get into playing music in the first place?
It's always been in me. This is an old story. I've told it 1,000 times, but
Oh, they're
I'll
fucking.
tell
Yeah,
no,
fuck
I'll
it,
tell you.
man.
I'll tell you. No, fuck that shit. I'll tell you. I was born deaf.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm way older than you guys. I'm older than you guys by at least 20 years. How old are you?
41.
Yeah,
I'm 45 or 46. I just turned 46. I
I'm
gotta
way
get used
older
to
than
it.
y'all. I'm about 20 years older than y'all.
Okay.
And, I was when I was born deaf because
1 year or both? Like all the way?
both. My hearing passages were blocked because of overgrown adenoids and things like that, and my lungs were underdeveloped. Which is kind of ironic now.
Yeah.
But so they couldn't operate on me until my lungs grew to capacity. So
Right.
it took a few years. So first few years of my life, I was just deaf, and so my folks had the idea to lay my head on stereo speakers because I wasn't talking. I was just kind of a lump.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I just started singing. And so, because they would lay my head and play opera, Italian opera,
Yeah.
show tunes from movies and things like that. So I was singing all that stuff before I could talk.
Yeah.
And
okay.
then, so then that was kind of my first language was music. And so that's kind of where it all kind of started. So music's always been there. It's
Yeah.
always been there. I've always had kind of the intuitive understanding of it, just right there.
Yeah.
So
Very easy.
Did the whole family play music?
no, I was the only one. My oldest brother played piano a good bit, like classical piano and stuff, but he got into repairing church organs for a while, but he never did anything like in terms of public performance or anything like that.
Yeah. Always a drummer?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You play acoustic guitar too. I saw
I
you
play.
play on the
I
news.
play guitar, bass, drums, piano, all that stuff.
Oh,
I figured out how to play kind of everything kind of early on.
Yeah.
But I always understood that number one, I was a drummer. It was the most fun.
Yeah.
And I just understood intuitively.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I realized, okay, when I played guitar, it was okay. When I played piano or bass, it was good, But when I played drums, people watched. They watched. It was
right.
like, okay, this is different, Okay, this is what I need.
This is the one.
Because people pay attention, and you're always looking to kind of have that advantage.
The energy of the crowd.
Yeah,
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I always say, my if you want to get into it, my talent I understood early on was not necessarily playing music. My talent was an ability to move a lot of energy almost effortlessly. I didn't know how I would do it. I don't know how I would do it still, but I know that I do it.
More showman.
I don't know. I don't really,
Right.
Ed McCain. He's just, you know who he is? He's a singer. Yeah, he's a singer from North Carolina. Part of the whole like Hootie, Toad the Wet Sprocket crowd, all those
Then,
guys,
yeah.
friends of ours
Yes.
for years and years and years. He's like, hey, I don't know what the hell you do, but I love watching you do it. It's like, I don't know what I do either, man.
That's the best way.
That's
the best way.
I just do it.
I don't overthink it, and it just fucking comes out.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. I mean, whenever I thought about stuff, I'd screw it up. Of
course.
So just
fucking have fun.
Just go for it.
Yeah,
go for it. Anyway.
Had you always? I saw that you had early credits of being in Dash Rip Rock too.
Yeah, I was in Dash Rip Rock for 5 years.
Are they a Baton Rouge band?
They were initially based in Baton Rouge when I joined. Bill was from Ponchatoula, Lake Charles, Baton Rouge, and Ned Hokey, the bass player, Hokey Hickle, he was based in from Baton Rouge. And initially, when I joined, the band was based in Baton Rouge, but right around the time I joined, Bill moved to New Orleans, so we moved kind of our bases to here in New Orleans. It was kind of back and forth, and after about a few months of playing together, we just took off, and we're just playing all over the country. So we were basically wherever we were from, where it was convenient to be from.
Right? Yeah.
It said that you sang back then as well.
Yeah, I did. I wrote some songs. Jenny Says was actually originally a Dash Rip Rock song.
Come on.
Oh man,
I wrote that at Dash Rip Rock. It's actually on our second album. It's not a very good version of it, but the song
Bill's
was really
at home
popular.
Like those motherfuckers.
So when I started Cowboy Mouth, we were looking for songs, and I had a whole shit ton of songs, because in between Dash Rip Rock and Cowboy Mouth, I'd had a record deal with EMI Records, Capitol, out of New York. It was kind of a development deal that was going to turn into a recording deal and all this type of stuff. And I had written a whole bunch of songs that that eventually I ended up doing with Cowboy Mouth songs like How Do You Tell Someone?
Yeah,
and
gotcha.
Jenny Says was something I looked at as an old Dash Rip Rock song, and I didn't really want to learn it. It was the other guys. It was John Thomas and Paul Sanchez who said, no, we really need to learn this song. We need to learn this Jenny Says song. I was like, I'm kind of tired of that.
Right.
But they insisted, and then it all worked out.
Yeah,
it
no
all
kidding.
worked out, yeah.
What year was the? How do you tell someone that you don't love them?
How do you
anymore?
tell someone initially was a big deal. I think it was 93. It was on an album called It Means Escape. That was a big deal in the Southeast around here.
Yeah.
A lot of the radio stations in Atlanta. And that's kind of what helped us springboard onto a major. The real thing that got us to our first major label, MCA. This is all like 1,000 years ago. We had this band that used to open up for us, and we'd open up for them whenever we'd play like South Carolina, North Carolina. They played Mardi Gras with us here, and they were opening up for us, a band called Hootie and the Blowfish. Yeah. Well, you never know.
Also fucking hacks.
But you never know. You never know.
Right.
It's so
Yeah.
odd. I'll tell people, it's like, we did this thing with Hootie and the Blowfish. Oh, wow, who's that? It's like, okay.
Well, you'll know.
Well, people know Darius now more than
Right,
anything.
yeah.
And I actually saw him last week, because we had a weekend off, and there's this band called Howl Owl Howl.
Okay.
And it's Darius on vocals. It's Steve Gorman from the Black Crowes on drums.
Oh, shit.
And Mike Mills from REM on bass.
God damn,
And they
huh?
have a couple of side guitar players. Yeah. And they were doing like a club run, because, the three of them have been friends for a long time. I'm me, Darius, and Steve have been friends for like freaking 40 years.
Right.
So, and Steve was telling me about this band a couple of years ago when they were just kind of piecing it together. And I said, hey. And he said, yeah, man, if you ever want to come out to a show, let me know. I'll set you up. It's like, great. So, and I thought the wife would like it, because not only were they doing their originals, their new stuff, they also did some Hootie in their set. They also did like, the two big Black Crow songs.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of REM.
Yeah.
So, and Darius loves singing that stuff. So yeah, they were actually really good. There was real chemistry between the three of them. They really enjoyed it, and so
it immediately makes for a fun show.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. And Darius loves singing that shit, and he's really good at singing that stuff.
Yeah.
And him and Mills sing really well together. And as a drummer, watching any chance to get watch Steve play is just
Gonna go for it.
he's just great. He's just great. So.
Were you always the singer of Cowboy Mouth? Or was that always the plan?
Well, I formed the band as a kind of an outlet for my songwriting. That was the whole thing for me. But then when I'd formed the band initially, it was me and a bass player called Paul Clement, who played with a band called Woodenhead, a jazz band around here. And he actually still does time. Great guy. And another guy that I'd played in a band with years ago, a guy named Paul Sanchez. We played in a band called The Backbeats.
Yeah.
Back in the early 80s, that started out as kind of a punk rock rockabilly thing and ended up as a kind of synth pop record deal chasing thing that I was pretty much done by the time I was I don't want to do this. I don't know what I want to do, but I know I don't want to do
it's not this. Yeah.
But I learned a lot. The music, the songs were good. It really taught me a lot about the craft of songwriting.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm learning how to do this, figuring it out. And one of the guys we had in the band towards the end of the band's tenure was a guy named Vance DeGeneres, Ellen's brother, who was a musician.
Come on.
Yeah, they were from around here.
Yeah, okay.
And Vance was actually, it's so funny. Vance was actually the big deal back then because he played in a band called The Cold. That was a big deal in the early '80s. Huge deal.
Chick singer.
Yeah, her name was Barbara Menendez. She was very she was a show person, very theater, but really had a lot of energy and a lot of charisma.
Yeah,
and they were people. I think I don't know if people remember it, but they were like a real phenomenon around here. They could put like 1,500 kids in any room 7 days a week for like 3 years in a row. And it was really wild. Now, around that time in the late 70s, early 80s, every big city had their new wave band that was going to make it big.
Yeah.
Like, Atlanta had the Swimming Pool Cues. New York had Blondie. New Orleans had The Cold.
Yeah.
There was, other ones in big cities, like LA had X, and, all great bands, and, but then like, The Cold kind of, they fell apart for a while, and then Vance played with us. I think it was about for a year and a half. This is the Backbeats. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot. And then he ended up joining Cowboy Mouth twice. Our second MCA record, he was a fill-in guitar player. We moved to a 5-piece, but he was never a member of the band. And then later, after Paul quit, Vance replaced him for like another year until, what's his name, Steve Carell gave him a job running his production company.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we had just filmed this. We had just filmed the live video, and we spent all this money filming this live video in Hollywood at the Roxy. And that was back when DVDs were a thing. Settlement shows. It was great. It was really high production, really good show. Place was packed. And, Vance is the guitar player on it. And the next day, Carell calls him. Hey, you want to run my production company? I'll pay you $250,000 a year. And he calls me up.
Fucking buy.
Yeah, Carell, Vance calls me up. I was like, well, I got this offer from Steve. It was literally the day after we recorded the shit. It's like, well, what is it? He wants me to run his production facility or his production company. So what's he going to pay you? It's like, starting off at $250,000. It's like, dude, what, you nuts?
Right?
It's like, yeah, I talked to Ellen already, and she told me I should do this.
Right. Like you're calling to tell me you're doing this.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's totally fine.
Of course.
And so, but it all worked out. It all worked out. But there's been kind of an incestuous history of musicians and bands and things around here.
Yeah,
just the way it kind of works.
Yeah.
Also, you probably, whenever you're having to replace a guy, whenever you have an old friend that you can depend on, you probably go to that corner before just open auditions out.
I've gotten the habit over the years. It wasn't something I planned, because I was, I used to be of the mindset of just like, oh, this is the combination, this is it. You can't deviate from this, man. And I mean, if you look at certain bands, like if you ever look at interviews of the Clash after they had broken up, they all looked like they'd been through PTSD, just been through this thing.
Yeah.
And, Strummer was he was very locked in the idea of having a certain chemistry. And there is that, you know. And I was really locked into that But after changing over so many years, over guitar players and bass players, we've been extremely fortunate to have nothing but really talented people.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, the energy has always kind of remained the same. That kind of just get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whenever people join the band, I don't say you have to do this, you have to wear this, you have to act this way. It's like, no, just go up there and just be the best you can be.
Yeah.
Because the energy isn't about performing a certain way or acting a certain way. If it's not in somebody's nature to be, then you don't
fucking
you
do
don't
it.
want you don't want them faking it.
Yeah.
Because that's even worse.
Oh, yeah.
That energy, audiences understand you intuitively.
Yeah.
It's an unspoken chemistry between performer and artist, and if you're faking it, they'll know.
They'll know. Yeah.
They'll know, and they'll let you know.
Right.
Especially here in New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans audiences are the toughest I've ever played for.
No shit.
Because they don't boo. You know what they do? That's even worse than booing if they don't like you. They ignore you.
Oh.
You don't exist.
Yeah.
You are a background to my drinking habit.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just going to
it's
sit at the bar with my back turned.
But it's a great place. When I was coming up, it was a great place to woodshed. It was a great place. Okay, I'm working on this. I want to do this. It's just if you could move a crowd here in New Orleans, you could move them anywhere. New York and Los Angeles, piece of cake, easy peasy.
What was the influence for Cowboy Mouth in the first place?
In terms of what?
Musically. Like, was there after you
like I said,
left the backbeats, was it just like one of those things?
No, the backbeats had really nothing to do with it musically. It was just an outlet for my songwriting.
Yeah,
I had all these songs. I'd had this deal with EMI Records, and it fell through because my A&R guy got fired. Typical label shit. And I had been through the ringer with Dash Rip Rock. Dash was a great band. I loved that band, but I also understood that it was a really volatile combination. The things that made it great in the long run, I knew would be the things that would doom it to not be as successful as we wanted it to be. And that just happens. It's just the nature of rock bands, unfortunately. And so it was kind of an outlet for my songwriting. And then with that, I understood, okay, I'm going to have to be the front man. Yeah. And I'm going to have to figure out, what do I do? Because I've never, I talked to audiences in Dash, but it was Bill's baby. Bill was the guy.
Yeah.
So I didn't really ever have to worry about being a front man. I had a band in between Dash and Cowboy Mouth in Georgia because the label gave me some money and I just got away. Just like, all right, I'm getting the hell out of here. Knew a bunch of people over in Georgia that seemed to be jumping over there. And I had a little band, but I never could really get it going on a steady level. And then moved to Nashville, and that was a complete waste of time.
Oh, shit.
I said, well, let me come back to New Orleans. And came back to New Orleans. I was broke, and the record deal fell through, and I was renting an apartment for $200 uptown, and the power got turned off. And I had X amount. I had just enough money saved to where I could either continue to pay my bills for 6 months, or I could put a down payment on a used van for a band that didn't exist. And I remember it was so weird because everything I touched for like a year and a half turned to shit. Oh, no. It wasn't like things would be. It didn't work out. It was like it would just fall apart. And being when you're in a rock band and it works, and it's such a strange thing because no matter how much you try and work towards that thing, it has to click. And it's something that clicks that's way beyond the people that it's way beyond whoever you're in the band with. It's like all of a sudden, when I joined Dash Rip Rock, it was kind of a joke band in that it wasn't anything that the other guys took seriously. It was something they did for fun on the side of their other, quote, real new wave bands,
Right.
And then, but they made this little 45 record. You remember those 45s?
Yes.
And it turned out a lot better than they expected. And it was like, and
maybe we should do this.
Yeah, well, it got them a lot of good notice on an indie level.
Gotcha.
And Bill had real ambition.
Yeah.
And I was really, and my band, I was playing in a rockabilly cover band at the time. My band had opened for them, and they had opened for us. And I remember thinking, this guitar player is really good. This bass player is really good. This drummer, It's not very good. This band is pretty terrible, but there's something there. And then it all just circumstances, which I don't have time to go into, but let's just say comedically it all worked out. So I ended up, after moving to Georgia and Nashville, being back in New Orleans because Bill called me drunk one night, man, join my band. Because I'd done some demos with him, and we really clicked. It was like that thing, that chemistry thing. I was like, okay. And then, so I joined his band, and, we started playing, and I think we rehearsed once or twice, and we just started playing, and then just everything just took off. Nice. It was like all of a sudden, okay, something's happening.
This is it.
Something's happening.
Yeah.
And that happened for a long time, and then, and after about 4.5 years of just insanity, I was just like, I got to get out. And a buddy of mine who was an A&R guy at EMI Records, EMI Manhattan in New York. He was like the A&R guy for like me and Queensryche.
Oh shit!
And Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
In fact, here's a funny story. One time, he was in New Orleans, staying at my folks' house, staying at my parents' house because I was still living there at the time. And we were prepping some songs to start recording an album that never came out. And so he, and it was during the time when the Chili Peppers had just found Frusciante and Chad, what's his name? Smith, yeah. Because the other guy had died.
Yeah.
And the drummer had quit. Yeah. And it was like, and he was the A&R guy, and he was trying to pull it all together. And it's like, come on, guys, we can do this. Come on, just really working it. He didn't want to give up on them,
right?
And they were ready to kind of call it quits, but he's like, no, keep going. And they only had one more album to do on EMI, and EMI really didn't pay attention to him. But my A&R guy was very young and hungry. He was a Tulane kid. That's how I knew him.
Okay, yeah.
And so my mom comes in the room while me and my A&R guy Rob are working on some songs. He goes, Rob, you have a phone call? I said, who is it, Mrs. LeBlanc? And she stands there. She's like standing there looking like, oh my God, what was that guy's name? She goes, Bug?
Oh shit.
Insect? Rob goes, flea? He's like, that's it.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, so, but anyway, so yeah, he did that, and and so then with Cowboy Mouth, me and Paul, the two Pauls, had been rehearsing, and it was just terrible. It was terrible.
Oh no!
It was like, I had chemistry with this guy before. Why is it not working? I mean, we rehearsed for 2 months, night after night, and it wasn't anybody's playing,
right?
Because I was a decent player, and they were excellent players. I was like, why is this not working? Why is this not working?
Yeah.
And the harder we tried, the worse it got. And finally, I just kind of had an idea. I knew John Griffith from Red Rockers was back in New Orleans. They had broken up. He had quit, and he was like working at a health food restaurant or something like that uptown.
Okay.
And I said, well, he's really good. He's not doing anything. Let me see what it says. So, and then like all of a sudden he walked into the room, and it was fucking hit. It was just magic.
Yeah.
It was one of the wildest experiences of my life. I'd given him a couple of a cassette of some of my songs, and a song he learned was "Why You Want to Do Me." That was on that same album.
Yeah.
As Heidi tells him, we recorded it later, and I just remember we're playing it, and it's just like, oh shit, this sounds great. Yeah, it's like, you just know.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, and John and I had been through that. He had it with the Red Rockers. I had it with Dash. And it's there, right? And for whatever reasons, we lost it. I quit. I quit Dash because I couldn't deal with the craziness and all the drama bullshit. And I guess John couldn't deal with Red Rockers. I've never really talked to him about it.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of like his thing.
Yeah.
But we had both been through that thing where we had this thing and we lost it. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, years later, boom, we're here again. Okay.
Let's grab this fucking shit.
Grab this thing and just don't let go.
Yeah.
Because this doesn't happen all the time. And we've been able to maintain it, even through personnel changes, business changes, we've been the band of old farts who are done and the hot new young thing so many fucking times.
Yeah.
So many times. It's constant up and down and up and down. You just ride the waves. You
Yeah.
know? So we've been able to do this for 35 years.
Fuck, huh?
Yeah. Can't believe it. I didn't expect it to last a month.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I first saw you in 1995, I think.
Where was it?
Mojo Fest.
Yeah, those were great.
Yeah, it
Those
was
were fun.
You guys, Faith No More,
Yep.
Foo Fighters,
Yep.
Smash
Right.
Mouth, I
Yep.
think. Yeah,
Smash Mouth. Yep.
Yeah, and it was hot as hell.
Hot as hell.
And,
we did a lot of those
That was down
festivals.
here?
That was down here.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
like
yeah.
Wasn't the Zephyr? Was it the
Oh, the
Zephyr,
fuck.
or was
They-
it one of?
There was
Yeah,
like
it
the
was the
Zephyr.
Zephyr.
There was Zephyr
Zephyr.
Fest, then there was like the Infest,
And Infest,
then
and was
there's
after
Mojo.
Zephyr,
yeah.
Yeah, or something like that.
Mojo Fest was an outgrowth of the Zephyr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but that was a great show, man.
Thank you.
And I remember, I mean, you controlled the crowd, like just like you're saying. I mean, you didn't control the crowd, but the energy that you were throwing out was definitely like moving the entire.
I just get them to go where they want to go already.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the thing. It's people. People throw that at me. Oh, you control the crowd. It's like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I know where they want to go. I'm just willing to point them in the direction and say,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's just, and like I always say, it's like, cut loose, have fun, celebrate this moment, because this moment's not going to last. Celebrate being alive. Don't
Yeah.
worry about looking stupid. Nobody's going to look any dumber than this, sweaty, hairy coon ass screaming and playing the drums. So you can't look as dumb as I do. So have fun.
It was great. And then, I mean, I saw you again 20 years later. I can't remember. I guess that was Jazz Fest, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
No, probably 2023.
I guess so.
Was
it who did we play with? Was that Greta Van Fleet?
God, I only remember you guys, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it depends on. I tend to look at Jazz Fest as who we played with. Like in 18, or was it 19? 19 we played right before Aerosmith, and then we played before the Chili Peppers. We were supposed to play before the Foo Fighters that year, but the drummer died, and then the Chili Peppers came and kind of took over a lot of their gigs.
And
we opened up for Greta Van Fleet one year. I think it was the year after that. That was fun.
we had.
Oh, sorry about that, man. I've been drinking water like it's fucking. I don't know.
Hey, man, it's
just
good
sitting
for
around
you.
drinking
Good for
water,
you.
smoking cigarettes, and then it's like you get here, and it's like, how about we start pissing every 20 minutes?
Oh yeah, I drove down from North Mississippi. My kids live up there.
Okay.
And I have a house up there as well, and so I'll just drink water, and then about around Meridian, I stop drinking water because I know I'm going to be getting into New Orleans traffic, and the last thing I want to do in New Orleans traffic is desperately
full
need to
blast.
pee.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm not pulling over at a brother's.
doing
That's
that.
not happening.
I think
I'm not too proud to pull over the side of the road and take a pee on New
Oh
Orleans
no,
East,
that's
you know?
definitely happening. That's happened a lot.
that's
there's a
perfect.
lot
Look
of
all you want. Look all you want, drivers. Ain't much there.
You're gonna have to squint.
Pull out your magnifying glass, shitheads.
Did you have that energy, the lead singer energy in the other bands you were in as well?
I guess. I don't know. In Dash, I ended up singing about maybe 40% of the songs.
Okay,
I never
figured.
did focus on being the lead guy.
Yeah.
Right? It was just kind of like, oh, the drummer will sing. But people, I was really into songwriting. I love playing drums, but I really had kind of a musical mind. And with Dash, it was kind of like, all right, we've got an opportunity here. Let's write some songs. But, it was the 80s, and there was a lot of drugs and alcohol and just all kinds of fucking
So many
craziness.
cool ass things.
Well, they're fun.
Back then it was.
The stories are great. I
Yeah,
can tell
right,
you a
yeah.
lot of great
The
stories.
ones I can
that-
remember.
I can tell. No, I can remember most of them.
There you go.
I did an interview for a documentary for this band called Driving and Crying. You remember them?
I've heard of
Yeah.
them. I've just
They're-
never listened to them really.
They're really old friends of mine. They were on the same label initially as Dash Rip Rock. We were both signed out of this indie label called 688 out of Atlanta, and they ended up moving up to the majors like Warner Brothers and on stuff like that. And they had like a big hit album in the early 90s. And anyway, so they did a documentary, and those guys are old friends. Kevin, the lead guy, is a really good friend of mine.
Yeah.
He calls me up one day. This is about 10 years ago. He's from the Midwest. Even the band is based in Atlanta, and they're an Atlanta institution, but he still has his Midwestern accent.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Great dude. And he calls me up one day. Hey, Fred. Hey, Kevin, what's up? Man, somebody's doing a documentary on us. We wonder if you would want to do like some interviews. It's like, sure, I'd love to, but why do you want me? You've got all kinds of rock star buddies like the Allman Brothers and the REM guys and Pete Buck and all these guys, a lot more famous, a lot more marquee value than me.
Right.
Why do you want me to do the interview? It's like, you were the only one who wasn't doing all the drugs.
Yeah, you're the only one that can remember the stories.
Yeah, you're right about that. So I wasn't doing a lot. I didn't really start laying hard on the partying until like the end of the 90s.
Yeah.
When Cowboy Mouth was just touring incessantly. And it was just really, there was a lot of pressure and a lot of weirdness.
Yeah.
So, but I got past it.
So the singing with the drumming, did that come naturally, or did you have to work? Because that,
natural.
like that just seems so insane to me.
I know, and I look at it, and I'll watch videos, and I'm like, how the fucking hell?
Right?
I have no idea, but it's just the most natural thing in the world to me.
I mean, I feel like it would have to be.
Yeah, it's really because I've learned over the years performing, the worst thing I can do while I'm performing is think about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's just
muscle memory, that shit.
You just get to that place where you're just going for the moment, know? And I've done it so much to where I know, I know that whatever I do will take care of me. It'll get me to the end.
Yeah.
As long as I, long as I kind of keep the faith.
Pure instinct.
It's pure instinct.
Okay, yeah.
Pure
I've seen a couple
instinct.
bands that do the drummer deal on it. It's just every time I see it, it's like, how the fuck is this happening, man?
Okay,
the drums blow me away.
Well, the Eagles don't count.
Well, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Did you ever think about not playing the drums and singing, or was it?
Yeah,
all right,
I did.
just funny?
I did. And I do acoustic shows and things like that. That was kind of something.
That's what I wanted to ask you too. Like, did you teach yourself guitar?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It all just kind of came like with the musical thing. Once it was in my psyche, at a very, very young age, I just understand it. I kind of see through it. It's kind of like, oh, okay, I get it.
Man,
like I'm looking at those drums right now, I can kind of hear what they sound like.
Yeah.
You think they sound like shit?
No, they sound like in fact, as soon as we're finishing this, I'm picking up the
There you go.
You're picking up the guitar, you're picking up the bass, and we're jamming.
Check that out.
No, but it's kind of it's gotten to the point nowadays where like I'll end up recording and mixing most of the bands out, but all of the bands out, but simply because it falls to me. So when I mix, I kind of I see it.
Yeah.
It's music, the mix and the sound, everything has to be panoramic. It's difficult to explain it. It sounds somewhat pretentious, I know, but it's very tangible to me.
Matrix. It's just numbers and shit. But it's like I see
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
But it's kind of like that.
Did you? We had heard that you produced Dead Eye Dick back in the day.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I saw. That night I went to go see that band in Atlanta last week. I saw Mark from Dead Eye Dick just happened to be in the same neighborhood in Atlanta.
Wow!
Because he's bringing his little girl to Georgia to check out the college up there. Yes, and we just saw each other and we were just reminiscing about old days. Yeah, I produced that record. So.
What did that entail? Was that
they were friends?
Mixing?
They were friends. They were friends. Caleb and I went to high school together. Caleb is just a ferociously talented guy.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like Caleb's one of those guys. You know that movie Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the leaf that flies through everything that acts as the kind of like the thread throughout the whole storytelling of the movie. Yeah. Caleb is that leaf.
Okay.
Just he's a very phenomenally talented leaf that kind of flies through life.
Very fluid.
Yeah, and he just he's a really gifted singer, really gifted songwriter, hell of a guitar player. And Mark was the bass player. Great backup singer, really distinctive voice, excellent bass player. And they were friends of ours. They would do like acoustic nights at the old Howlin' Wolf. Not the one, it might have been the one down in the Warehouse District. Yeah. and they were just the kind of the stars of that little scene.
Yeah.
It's just like, these songs are really good. These songs were, and but they had a drummer who was very good. He was a really good player, good hitter, but he always wanted to play too much. And my thing was just like, they asked me to kind of produce. How did that come about? I have no idea how that came about. I think I might have approached them and said, look, let's get in the studio. Let's get some of this shit down,
Yeah.
A buddy of mine has a studio over in Bell Chase. It's this Christian guy. He had a couple of, he had like 3 8-track DAT machines. You remember those?
Yeah.
And, he had a nice little studio setup. Honestly, it wasn't much bigger than this.
Oh, nice.
And, so let's go in there. Let's try to make something. We'll keep the cost low, and let's see what we got, And we made that whole album in like 3 days.
Oh, wow.
And they just went in, banged it out, and New Age Girl was obviously special.
Right.
And Mark was very driven. He was very driven. Caleb, he's not as driven. It's not in his personality. Mm-hmm. But Mark supplied all the ambition.
Right. Like, I'll be there, man, but like...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, and we had... Cowboy Mouth, John Thomas had a solo band for a little while, and he had a drummer by the name of Billy Landry, who was just this West Bank kid, who was a friend of his, friend of his in his neighborhood. But this guy was a great drummer.
Right.
And it's kind of like, why don't we get him into this band? And so I said, look, I'll produce a demo for you. You don't have to pay me anything. Just let's get see if you can scare up some money, and we can pay the engineer, and let's do this. And we're old, I've known Caleb since 8th grade.
Oh yeah,
he's my first friend in high school. So
way back.
So let's not worry about just we'll take care of me later. It's all good.
Right.
And so we went, and I said, but you have to get my buddy on drums. Nothing against the other guy.
Right.
Do whatever you want, but this guy's playing drums on the session because he was very tight. He was very clean.
Very in the pocket.
Yeah. And just the way he hit, he was just so... Not only was he solid, but as soon as he hit the drum, he got away from it. It wasn't any of this...
Right.
Precise.
Precision.
Yeah. It's like a punch in the face. Pap, and gets out of the way.
Yeah.
And he was just a great player. He played in a country cover band that John had on the side. Tuesday nights they would play the Rock and Bowl when it was still over on Carrollton.
Yeah.
Get hammered, play old country, old Graham Parsons songs and stuff like that. It was just a fun band. And whenever Cowboy Mouth was home, John would go do that for fun,
Yeah.
And we used to and we all just loved Billy. Billy was a great guy, and he was trying to get his life together so he could go to medical school. and we'd meet up at John's house to leave for like a 1 or 2 week tour with like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We used to call it the Austin to Boston circuit.
Okay.
And so we'd play anywhere from one of those days. All right. Hey, Billy, get in the van. No, man, I got to go to school. I'm just like, Billy, come on. You don't want to go to school. Man,
Why school?
I'm trying to get into med school. But Billy, we all know that's not going to happen. You really don't want to do this. I don't have any clothes. Man, we could buy you clothes at Walmart. It's like, come on, Billy, just get in the van. Look, just drive in the van first for an hour. We'll bring you back.
Yeah, just see how
we're
you
going
like
somewhere like freaking Chicago. We're not bringing him fucking
That's
back.
no fucking way.
No fucking way. So he just. It's all right, fine, bam,
Right. Show up. How the fuck did I even get here?
Exactly. So eventually he ended up in Dead-Eye Dick, and now he's an anesthesiologist. So there you go.
Oh shit! That's a very good job too. That's a fucking good shit.
Yeah, but I did that record.
You're never going to bed.
I think my main contribution to that record was kind of focusing, saying, okay, do this way.
That's what I was wondering.
Caleb had musical ideas. I think one of the best things that I brought to the record was that, we all love that song "New Age Girl." It was silly. It was fun.
Yeah.
But when I made that, when we made that record, I didn't approach it like, this is a great song. You need this. It's like, no, it's a joke.
Right.
It's a comedy record.
Yeah.
So I had the idea of listening to, there's an old hit from the 60s called Winchester Cathedral.
Okay.
And the guy singing, Winchester Cathedral. And there was a Beatles song called Honey Pie. Mm-hmm. And there's a line in there. It's like, just, it's in an old music style music hall style of she was a working girl, born and bred in there. Now she's hit the big time. You know, it's like I was like, you know, we should do that with the punchline
We
for
were
this
just
song.
talking about that shit. I was wondering if you were the one that was kind of like,
Yeah.
hey, do the fucking callback in.
Well,
here,
here's the story. Here's the story. That was the whole thing. We cut the song. The song was pretty. It was there.
Yeah.
All the songs were there. I didn't write anything. I didn't do anything like that. And Caleb had like guitar part because it was a 3-piece band. But Caleb had different 3-part. You know, he had a lot of guitar parts and a lot of solos.
Yeah.
And my thing was basically, do it. Go for it. You got nothing. Go. Just do it.
Right.
If we don't like it, we can change it. Go.
Right.
That's great.
We got the
Do
bones.
it.
Fucking-
Yeah, great. Yeah. And so, but that was my thing. So we cut the whole song and he did the vocal. And I remember I had to fight him. It's like, because she hates to be alone. She don't eat meat. And he'd leave the space, right? And so I feel like Caleb, so we set up a little PV amp and ran the distortion, plugged the microphone through it. And, you know, Caleb's, his personality, he's not going to put himself
Right,
out there.
yeah.
He's just not going.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, sweetheart, smart as a whip, charming, but he's not one of those people who's going to make himself vulnerable.
Right.
You know the type.
Yeah.
You know? And I really it's like, come on,
This guy.
come on, Caleb. It's like, come on, dude, come on, just do it, just once. I swear, if you don't like it, we won't do
Cut it right out.
You know,
But, like-
I had the sound set up, so he did it once. Don't eat meat, and he goes, Bumpy sure likes the bone. And then I stopped the song, and there was a second. And he goes, all right, let's do the second
All
chorus.
right, let's go. Okay, great.
Got it.
Right, yeah. But then it was like you know, the rest of the record was really strong song wise. You know, there weren't any more like joke songs. There's
Right,
some
yeah.
songs with some funny lyrics here and there, but they were really well written, well thought out songs.
Yeah, I
that
used
they
to
had
have that
actually
album, yeah.
Well, they had actually worked out all the songs live.
Right.
You know, by playing all these acoustic gigs, it would be like Caleb and Mark acoustic, and Mark would play bass, and they really had it together. All they needed was a solid drummer.
Yeah. Yes, it was tight on there.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
then so we did that, and they went and they had borrowed some money from a friend of theirs, and they went and after we finished recording and mixing, because we recorded it in 3 days, and I think we mixed it in 1 or 2.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, it was really
very
fast,
quick.
really
Yeah.
fast, really fast. But everything was there.
Right.
It really wasn't that difficult.
Yeah.
And so after that, they went and painted some houses in order to make the money back. The 3 of them did, in order to make the money back to pay for the sessions. And then, so they would open for Cowboy Mouth a good bit. We would bring them here and there, and people liked them and everything like that. And then all of a sudden we got word they were in Athens, Georgia one night. They were playing a little bar, and we were playing like a bigger room. And they saw us and said, hey, we got a record deal. We got a record deal. I was like, that's great. And I was like, wait, that's great, you mother.
You fucking ass.
And then they had like a huge hit. And it was a really big learning experience for everybody because they were in an odd position because they had to really give up a lot in order to get the record out,
Right.
to take advantage of the momentum that had happened because
You
a
don't wanna
radio
lose that
station
shit.
in Atlanta had started playing New Age Girl
Yeah.
before anything was even pressed, before they even had a
shit.
record deal.
Okay,
yeah, so they
It's like, we got to hurry this up.
we got
gotta fucking
this
go.
this is going to die. We need to get something out, and so they were in a position to where they had to give up a lot in order to get this record out. And then I was like, hey guys, remember me?
Hey,
Yeah, it was unpleasant.
the bone guy.
The bone guy. It was unpleasant. It was unfortunate, but you know, at the same time, you know, we're all friends. We all
Yeah.
get along now, and you know, I was really happy to be a part of it. It taught me a lot about, you know, because for a while I was thinking maybe I might want to be a producer. You know, I think I
Yeah.
might be good at this. You know, and then I realized I don't want to fucking do this. I don't want to sit there and getting a studio tan and all this. I want to perform. I want to play.
Yeah,
Be part
I
of
could
someone
do it.
else's thing.
I could do it.
clearly.
And I
yeah.
could, and I've got a gold record.
Right.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah. Oh
it's-
yeah, you got one for that, right?
yeah. They put it in the Dumb and Dumber soundtrack.
That's
And
right.
that's where we got
Yes.
the gold record
I knew it was
from.
a Jim Carrey thing. I couldn't fucking
yeah.
remember. Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, this is kind of cool. And you know, they had their moment. They did a lot of touring for about a year and a half. And then they did another record that, it was good. It just didn't have that song.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way it was in the 90s. There was always
There's a lot of one
alternative
hits,
band of the weeks.
Yes, big time.
So
a million great bands, but one song.
Yeah. A lot of it, And, we ended up getting on that radio circuit a couple of years later when Jenny hit. And, I understood initially that, they would have these all-day festivals like Mojo Fest, like Zephyr Fest.
Yeah.
And, say like we were playing in somewhere like Milwaukee. And it's all right, we're playing it's an all-day fest, It starts at, 10 o'clock and, the main act, Beck or whoever, or In Excess or whoever is going to be the main act, they're playing at 9 p.m., So you get the 11 o'clock slot, a.m. slot. It's like, this sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks, because you're playing an
Am
arena.
I part of the fest?
You're playing an arena or an arena, and nobody shows up early.
Right.
Except the people way back where it's just the grass. Nobody in the seats shows up.
Right.
So it's like, okay, we played a couple of those, and I was like, all right, I got to figure out with, because as the way I saw it is like the goal wasn't just to do good at the gig. The goal was, because all these gigs were on like either Fridays or Saturdays or something. Okay. And back then, the morning DJs had giant sway. They were the stars. This is like the 90s, early 2000s. They were the stars of the station. They were the ones who had real pull.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we got to impress these guys. And about half the time, the morning DJs were also the program directors. So it's like, so it's like, okay, we got to get these guys not only talking about us, but we got to get them to where we're the only thing they talk about.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So then I kind of started saying, all right, because our record label, we were in a weird position with our record label because we'd been signed by one group of people, but then those people got fired. So the new group of people came in, saw that we're a viable commodity, so they didn't want to drop us.
Yeah.
But they didn't want us to have too big of a hit because nobody could say, "Oh, I signed them."
Oh, right.
Politics.
Right.
Politics. Such bullshit. We were just stuck.
Right.
In fact, the way Jenny Says became a hit was an accident because they had put out a studio version, and from the album "Are You With Me?" It's good. It's not great, but it's it's good.
Yeah.
But I mean, it didn't really catch at radio. It was very clean recording during a time when clean recordings weren't hits.
Right.
When you're putting out this clean, shimmering sound during, like Nirvana.
I was going to say, very crunchy area.
Very crushing guitars, you know.
Yeah.
And so what happened was we had a radio guy, a guy named Skip Bishop, and he was a huge fan of the band, loved the band. And he realized, he said, look, I'm going to get fired anyway. Might as well go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
Might as well go out in a blaze of glory. You give me a live version of you doing what you do to the audience. You get me that in a 3 or 4 minute format.
I'll spin that shit.
I'll send that to every radio station out there. I'll get fired, but fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm already out.
So we recorded. So we were playing at a club in New Orleans, a nondescript club that I don't want to say because I don't want to have to pay them.
Yes.
And, it was like 1,000 kids there going berserk. And, the way it was recorded with ambient mics, it sounded like, 10,000. Sounded like a damn arena. It sounded like a freaking Beatles. That type of thing. And, we did an 8-minute version of Jenny Says that we whittled down to like 3.5 minutes. The guy sent it everywhere, and this thing just fucking exploded.
Nice.
Exploded.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah and fuck no, because the label was not happy about it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. The song was exploding everywhere, and
like, where was our thing? Why did you tell us about this?
the thing about that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so they kind of, unfortunately, they kind of squelched it. And it's a lot of people, there are a lot of lay people will say, "Oh, that sounds kind of like bullshit." But anybody who's played the major label game,
they understand
that shit happened all the time.
Yeah.
It was like in the 90s, you had all these bands that would put, like Jewel. She had that big record, but like the songs, the versions of the hits on her album are not the versions that were played on the radio.
Oh,
They would go back and they would re-record songs.
Yeah.
So people would buy the CDs and be like, well, there was some other bands like, who was that band? The Verve Pipe. The Freshman song.
Yeah.
It's not the version that's on. Yeah, they did that shit all the time.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of what was done. And, we had that with Jenny Says with the live version. It wasn't available anywhere.
Right.
But, the record sold, and, but it, unfortunately, it was kind of one of those things where, they didn't want to let us go because we'd get picked up by another major, but they didn't really want to work us too much.
Yeah, right.
So,
it's like, we're not giving you up, but like,
pretty much. I don't want to fuck you, but I don't want anybody else to fuck you.
that one. Yeah, right.
But it got us on this. Circuit of radio shows, because they would kind of use us to kind of say, okay, well, we want radio play for these other acts. We'll give you Cowboy Mouth.
Yeah.
But the way we worked it to our advantage was, once I understood what was going on, I was like, okay, what I have to do is, we have to go out and we just have to create chaos.
Right.
So, hi, this is our hit. Very, very nice. Thank you very much. No. Can't do it. It's like you give me the 10 o'clock slot. You're going to regret it because you're going to want to give me the 8 o'clock slot next time.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, 30-minute set. Okay, we can play like 4 songs, but you know what? Those 4 songs are going to fly. I grab the wireless mic, knock the drums over, jump off the stage, run to the green grass area, and get those people to run up front, create chaos, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
The whole idea, I'd climb shit and swing from this and swing from that, just basically just going nuts.
Yeah.
Right? It was in my personality. It's part of my personality anyway. But it was also kind of, I was using that. My goal on Monday mornings, and it always, always worked. It's like, oh, such and such was great. Beck was great. Moby was great, or whoever the headliner was.
Yeah.
They were great. They played a great show. But my God, did you see Cowboy Mouth? Oh my God.
Yeah.
And we built a live following around the country doing that. So it's like, okay, this is what you're giving me. This is what we'll take. So that was kind of how we built and held on to our live rep over the years, which was nice. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You're still doing that now.
Yeah, we're still doing it.
Yeah.
We're still doing. I mean, they started building PAs digitally, so now they're all these small boxes, these small speakers. So if I'm up there trying to climb on that shit, chances are I'll fall down. Yeah.
Did you just are you recording right now with Cowboy Mouth?
Kind of more or less. We just put out a covers album in August called Cover Your Ass.
Nice.
And we did punk rock Frank Sinatra.
Oh, nice.
Fats Domino, I'm Gonna Be a Wheel. We did a replacement song. We did a song by The Who called The Real Me. We did a heavy metal version of a Cher song called Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. We did.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
That's
like my favorite Cher song.
I know, right?
Huh?
That's my favorite Cher song.
Oh man,
sure.
you gotta listen to our version. It's actually pretty badass.
It's out right now.
I listened to
Cover Your Ass. It's on all the streaming.
Okay,
I listened to your cover of Tomorrow Never Knows.
Oh my God.
Yeah, today.
That was wild. I hadn't heard that in years.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Well, thank you. That was actually something kind of like a demo I was just kind of dicking around with.
Oh, nice.
And the band never actually did it live. But
I wondered about that.
Huh?
I wondered about that. Did you do it with drum loops too?
Yeah, it was all loops. It's all loops and keyboard loops and things like that. I was just learning it, but I heard it not too long ago. Funny that you mentioned that. I heard it about a year ago. I was like, well, the process is kind of dated, obviously, but I was listening musically. It's like, it holds up, but I mean, it's a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking song.
It really is.
You really can't screw up that song.
Yeah. I didn't listen to the cover album today because I was trying to get.
Sorry.
I listened to.
Well, fuck you. Then we're done.
We're done. How dare you?
We did
Don't you know who I think I used to be?
Used to be. I think you still got a pretty big personality and
the thing
celebrity around here, especially.
Yeah, but the thing about it's funny. I was talking to my kid. My kids were talking to me recently. It's like, because I never really pushed the band on them. I mean, I've got young kids. I'm an old dad. My kids are like, my boy is 14, my girl is 11, my stepson is 13, and my other stepson is 16. But my kids that live in North Mississippi, I didn't push the band on. It was like, hey, your dad's somebody.
Look how fucking cool I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's just
you're
like,
immediately lame with that. Anything like that.
My dad's a douche. But they started finding out about me because a lot of their friends' parents were fans.
Yes.
Like my ex-wife told me one time. I went into my boy graduated like graduated from kindergarten, and they had a kindergarten ceremony. We were splitting up. I guess we were. I don't remember. Whatever it was. But I walked into, it was held in a church somewhere in North Mississippi. And I walked in, and I'm just sitting down, I'm just kind of doing the thing. And she sent me a text or something like that. It was either during the service or after. She said, "Do you realize that all of the parents started Googling you?" As soon as
yeah,
you
they're all
walked
just
in?"
like staring.
Yeah, they're not worried
Like,
about the
who
kids
fuck
graduating.
Is
Oh my
that?
God!
Is
I'm
that
like, Fred Leblanc, is that Fred
is that
Leblanc?
him?
Yeah, exactly. So now I get known as the guy who's Jesus. I never understand that. It's you just don't think of yourself outside of yourself.
Right.
Just kind of, I'm just doing my thing. I was in a grocery store in North Mississippi the other day, and this woman comes up, black woman, nice as she can be, just big old smile on her face. It's like, "Have you been on Guy Fieri's TV show?" It's like, "Yeah, I have a number of times." I was telling everybody that was you, and I was like, "Well, okay, I guess so." All right.
Yeah, I saw that clip of him praising Cowboy Mouth as a live
Yeah.
band.
Okay.
He's an old friend. He's
nice.
Him and I have been
got
buddies for
injured
about
today.
25 years. Yeah, I saw.
You got what?
I said
He got injured today or something like that.
He sent me a picture of it. Here, I'll show you
really?
this. Here you go. Hold on.
Oh God, I hope his bone isn't sticking out of his arm.
It's horrible.
Oh no!
Let's see, where is it? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun.
Look at that.
What has he got? 100 stitches on
right?
that?
Yeah, he fucked himself up good.
Yeah.
I wrote him. I said, "Hey man, you doing all right?" He goes, "Fuck, but I'm handling it. Miss you guys."
Are you doing? Did you do a cruise, or are you doing a cruise?
We've done many cruises, but the cruise we're doing in January is a New Orleans-based cruise. It's us, Samantha Fish. I think Dumpster Funk's on it.
Oh, nice.
Anders Osborne.
Yeah, Anders Osborne.
Trombone Shorty.
Nice.
Shorty's on it.
John's playing.
I was going to say,
guitar on
doesn't
that.
John
who?
Maestas
He plays
He
guitar
plays
for
guitar for
trombone.
Trombone Show right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
fucking great guitarist.
Cool.
for sure.
Well, Shorty's band is just phenomenal.
They're so good. They're so good.
Yeah,
They're
he's
so
fantastic. He plays with his fingers too. He doesn't even play with a pick, I don't think.
Really?
But yeah,
Yeah.
Is he a Loyola kid? Because I knew that's where Shorty got a lot of his band from.
he could be. I don't
really
know.
think he is, but yeah, I don't know.
He used to.
How long
rock-
has Shorty been a big deal around here? It's been like 10 years, 15 years?
Feels
I was
like
gonna
more
say,
than that. I
yeah.
felt like it was like not long after Katrina, right?
Yeah,
I felt like it was pushing 20.
Yeah, no, yeah, because they have that U2 song, and they're saying "Trombone Shorty" at the beginning of it, the Katrina song that.
Oh,
U2
no
did.
shit.
That's it.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's at the. No, not U2. Green Day.
Green Day, is that
Green
it?
Day.
Oh,
the
okay.
Saints are coming.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds right.
I knew he's been on the scene about 15 years, but I knew he got a lot of his band from Loyola because they were all because we did some shows together, and they were a lot of his band were Cowboy Mouth fans. In fact.
They have a lot of great guitarists that are coming out of Loyola.
Oh, yeah.
A buddy of mine teaches guitar up there. He's
Oh,
fucking
really?
amazing. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I wish they had that when I was a kid.
Shit.
It's like I tried to go to school for music, and my music theory teacher,
Yeah.
this guy, he had a glass eye, and he would get mad at me because I would show up late because I was playing gigs, and he'd try to jump my shit, and I'd be just trying to hang on to go through the class. My parents wanted me to go to college if I was going to be a musician. This guy's staring at. He had to look to my left in order to see straight at me because he had a glass eye.
Yeah.
Mr. LeBlanc, what are you doing? Oh God, fuck this! This is way.
Straighten your eye
I feel
up.
like
I'm not
it'd be
doing this.
very easy to sneak in. You just get on his bad side and fucking sit down.
It's like, I should probably stop doing this. After about 3 weeks, I was like, I'm wasting my time and my money.
Pretty
so-
good on this.
Yeah, fuck this. So, they didn't have like the regimented like music business schools and all
Right.
that type of stuff back then. But I'm old as time, We were too busy just, trying to figure out an end to the Civil War and all that type of shit.
Yes. Mhm.
And electricity and the wheel was a big thing.
That was a big one. Trying to live
Fire.
through the Great Depression.
We
all
were
that
so
stuff.
happy when fire
Oh
came.
man,
It
what
was
is
good.
it, the wheel and fire?
That was good millennia.
That was a good one. That was a good, things really started to take off right around
Yeah,
then.
Exactly.
Well, we're roundabout to the end right now, Fred. But is there anything that you are pretty proud of that you're working on right now?
My
Plug
wiener.
up. Yeah, hell yeah. There you go.
No, I'm proud of the
project.
That's definitely a main project for me.
Yeah.
Maybe not every day, but every other day.
3 inches of fury. What can you say? No, I'm pretty proud. I'm very proud of the cover album. It came out really good. It got us a lot of great press. Got us some really great gigs. The audiences seem to love it, which is really awesome. And it's fun to be able to play songs that you've always loved. Like we did a version of the Replacements, "Can't Hardly Wait."
Nice.
But their version, I have such an odd history, such a long history with this song. It's like, because I was a Replacements fan back before they were cool. But it's like when they were just playing dumps around here. And before they got signed to a major label, they put out this album, this bootleg that they snatched from a fan at a show in Oklahoma City, playing in front of 30 people. They were drunk. It was a miserable show. And before they signed a major label deal, they put this album and they called it "The Shit Hits the Fans."
Nice.
And it's just them playing shitty cover after shitty cover. But for like about 10 minutes, they play their own songs. And they're great. And one of the songs was "Can't Hardly Wait," long before it was ever released.
Yeah.
Back when they were still working it out. And the way they played it initially was this really kind of punk. It's really not like the pop thing they did later, which was great. I loved it, And but I always loved that version. It was just like, oh, this is fucking magic. And I waited for years for that song to come out. And it was so funny because I was touring with Dash Riprock. We were opening for this band called True Believers, who had this guy Alejandro Escovedo, and they were an Austin band, and they had a record deal, and they were the big band of the moment, and we were opening for them in Memphis, and it turned out that the night we played, Paul Westerberg, the lead singer and songwriter of the Replacements, came out to the show because he knew the True Believers somewhat, and the Replacements had just finished recording "Pleased to Meet Me" that day. And Paul was right. He was at the bar, and we had finished our set, and we had played some shows with him. Dash had played some shows with the Replacements, and so we kind of knew each other. But never meet your heroes, that kind of thing. Right. But him and I, we started talking at the bar because nobody was really paying attention. "Hey man, how you doing? Good to see you." Played together. Plus, we were talking about songwriting and everything like that. It's about 10, 15-minute conversation, something like that. But I was a real, I was a real fan. Yeah. And I was like, "So when's the new album coming out?" I was like, "Well, we're looking at this." It's like, "What about this song right here, "Can't Hardly Wait"? Is it? Are you guys ever going to put out that out?" Because they had put out another album and it wasn't on it.
Right. Okay.
And I said, "Well," and he said, "Well, yeah, we actually recorded that for this record, but it's really different." And I said, "I'm sure it'll be great. It's great." And then we played some more shows with them, and every time we played with them, they were just drunken, buffoonish assholes. But then again, so were we. So.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
But it was the only time I ever really kind of connected with the guy on like a songwriting level and stuff like that. So it was really kind of cool. And then, years later, Cowboy Mouth actually records the rockin' version from "The Shit Hits the Fans." So it's I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Come full circle on it.
Man, it's kind of full circle. It is kind of full circle.
Yeah. It's also not picking like the obvious songs. You know what I mean?
I guess so. There's nothing really on the album that's obvious. Like there was no rhyme or reason to it. It was just John and I were just throwing out songs.
I like this one. I like this one.
Yeah, but but it was kind of like, and when we had like 10 songs, it was like, this feels complete. Let's stop. Because we could have gone all day. Oh, what about this? What about this? Yeah. There's a couple of songs we thought about. It's like, it seems a little too obvious. Or you don't want to go up there and do Freebird. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I mean, like some of the songs, like "I'm Gonna Be a Wheel Someday," Fats Domino. We've been playing that since the band formed.
Nice, yeah.
But there was a song that John played in that country band, an old Crystal Gale song, country slow, sad country song called "Till I Gain Control." He always used to sing it in the bus on acoustic whenever we were touring in buses and things like that. I was like, man, that's great. We should do that. He's like, yeah, let's do that. It was fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, all right, let's get these songs together and try to get that, so maybe we can get this. And it's like, no, it's fun. At this stage of the game, at this point in my life, at the stage of the game where the band is, and you got nothing to prove to nobody.
Right, let's just have some fucking fun.
If it isn't fun, it's not worth fucking doing.
Yeah.
So now we got that out, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to figure out a way to release an album next year. We're talking about maybe just doing a single a month and doing that for 12 months straight, because I've got the songs.
Yeah.
Everybody's. That's what I was gonna say. Everybody that we talk to, that's the way they're doing it. They're not releasing. They're not releasing a full album. They're releasing each song as it goes, and then in the end, there will be an album, but it's not getting released as an album.
Yeah, I thought. I thought about that. Kind of what we were doing with the covers album was kind of testing the waters, kind of see, because I don't really keep up with it.
Right.
I have no desire to play Tuesday night in Tuscaloosa to try to prove I'm cool.
Right, yeah.
I'm just, it's
we got to stop taking those gigs.
You really do.
Yeah.
Go Tigers.
Hey.
Oh, oops, sorry.
That's what I meant.
So what's the joke? What's it? So what does an Alabama girl say the first time she has sex? Cut it out, Dad. You're crushing my smokes.
Damn it.
But I mean, it's just kind of. And just for the record, I love playing Alabama. We have a big fan base around.
I'm glad it went
It's
that way, because
called
it could have gone a different ways. Yeah.
But
I love
it's
fucking
just
my sister.
if it's. Hey, what a coincidence! I mean, making love.
Yeah. So you're fancy with it.
2 words describe one action. So there you go. But yeah, it's just at this stage of the game, we don't really have much to prove. It's just do it because it's fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's still a challenge. Every night it's still a challenge, because that was why I couldn't do I never wanted to go off to Nashville to try to be a songwriter. I really respect guys who have done that. I have a lot of friends who've done it, local guys like Jim McCormick did it. Kevin from Ezra, he's done very well with it, and Jim's done great with it. It's not in my wheelhouse personally, because I know my personality, and that would make me go nuts.
Yeah.
Because I need that new challenge all the time, and that's something that performing gives me, because it's always a challenge. It's always a challenge. What am I going to? It was like I was telling my kids the other day. It was like, well, not the other day, but a while back. I said, guys, your dad's played in front of 150,000 people, and your dad's played to an audience of one person. And it's like, you know what I did at both of those shows? And they said, what, Daddy? I said, I kicked fucking ass is what I did.
Yeah.
Because that's what you got to do.
That's it. No matter who's there, you got to fucking bang it out.
Exactly. Because, it's like the old Ray Charles thing, play like your life depends on it, because play every night like it's your last show, because one night it will be.
It will be.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, too, is like what you're phoning it in here because why? You don't have enough people. The show is the show, man.
The show is the show.
Yeah.
Why change it?
Yeah, exactly.
And you never know. You never know. During lockdown, I was doing acoustic online shows just to kind of keep busy, kind of keep my hand going. And so many people would write and just tell me the most incredible stories about a show or a song or an album or a performance or something like that. Really, how deep, wonderful stories of how those, whatever it is, connected with them.
Yeah, really affected them.
It really affected them, got them to make, positive choices and things like that.
Oh, hell yeah.
And every band gets it. That's not unique to us in any way. Every band gets it.
It's good to hear.
It's good to know that, I remember thinking at that time, just like, all right, maybe I haven't really been wasting my time here.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something to this.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but maybe there's something to it. Who knows?
Somebody likes it.
Fuck, who's going to give a shit in 50 years?
Right.
Right. But at the end of the day, I've had a great time.
Yeah.
I've laughed a lot. I like to think that the energy you put out is the energy you get back. That's just life.
Of course.
And if you put out shitty energy, it's going to come back. And I've put out shitty energy. I've done a lot of stupid fucking things in my life. But, I've also, I think with Cowboy Mouth and with what we've put out there, we've always tried to put out something that would be beneficial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it not in a pretentious way, or not like, you know, we're here to save the world or any of that shit.
Yeah.
It's just,
You're not just putting out whatever for nothing.
We're all links in the chain.
Yeah.
Everything we do, every, you know, action we take, every thought you think, every action you take, you know, you're making an investment in your life and the lives of the people around you.
Every step you take, every move you make.
Every move you make, every breath you take, every burger you shake. But, you know, it's, you know, at the end of the day, we're all just links in the chain, and you don't want to be the weakest link.
Yeah.
So anyway, blah blah blah.
Well, shit.
Well, Fred, it has been an honor for you to be on it.
Well, Fred.
Well, all right.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Tej.
Sorry, everybody eventually calls me Tej.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great having you on here,
thank
man.
you.
Thanks so much
And
for coming through.
fucking congratulations on long life and in music. And
I ain't dead yet.
and
You want to see Guy Fieri's scar again?
Yeah, right. Doing better than that, motherfucker.
well,
I said, thanks for giving me pictures for the spank bank, dude.
Look at that leg.
and thank you, and have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow. And
Hey, man. Back at you, bro.
thanks a lot. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya!
Fucking